Because you're wrong.
If you are a trans woman and you walk out in the world and you are seen as a man, you do not belong in women's spaces. I don't care what anybody says. I think that's ridiculous, and I think even trans women that have gender dysphoria that go through transition will agree with me.
This makes me so incredibly uncomfortable that we're even having this conversation.
You could go back over there if you really wanted to.
Ooh.
This video is brought to you by The Officer Tatum Store. The Officer Tatum Store. Get the merch link in the description section. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to know that we have 50% off all of our items that are on the clearance items. Let me show you the items that are on there. You got to take advantage of this before it's too late. Fathers Matter is on there. Fathers Matter hoodies, the Don, all of our favorite stuff. We're doing 50% off just for you. And also we have the premium line that I just started. Support the premium line. If you buy one of these premium jackets, you'll get a book signed absolutely free. We'll put it in the mail when you get the product. So all of these new items, go ahead and get it now and pre-order some of this new stuff if you're interested in some of our new items. Like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell so you get notification anytime I go live, make a video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like this video, comment on this video, share this video. Let's get into this. Our society really think very low of women. That a man can just say he a woman and have all of the privileges that women fought so hard for.
There's an issue with categorizing womanhood as a means of female. Earlier, it was mentioned by somebody on the anti-trans side about trans women coming in and taking over sports and things like that, which is just not true.
That is true.
It's not.
It is.
It's
I can show you a number of cases.
I can show you
there
a
might be
number
people
of
that also haven't.
No, I can show you a number.
Trans women retain 30% of their biological advantage.
That is not
if
true.
They went through male puberty. Yes, it is.
That is.
Yes, it is.
That is not.
Let's not argue with it. That's not even the prompts. We're not going to argue about that.
Because you're wrong.
If you are a trans woman and you walk out in the world and you are seen as a man, you do not belong in women's spaces. I don't care what anybody says. I think that's ridiculous, and I think even trans women that have gender dysphoria that go through transition will agree with me.
This makes me so incredibly uncomfortable that we're even having this conversation.
You could go back over there if you really wanted to.
Ooh. If we took all of that off the table, right? If we're not talking about who can play sports with whom, can people exist as who they are?
Absolutely.
It sounded like you were saying if a trans woman doesn't look like what you perceive as looking like a woman, they shouldn't be in feminist spaces.
I didn't say that. I said they shouldn't be in female spaces.
Okay.
Not feminist spaces.
Okay.
I think women...
I disagree with that, but
that's
okay.
fine. It makes sense to biologically classify people. It also makes sense to socially classify people. Let's say my friend Blair White was sitting right here. That's my buddy. I love her. She's sitting right here. Do I think she lives her life as a man? No. Like we were talking about men making decisions for women as far as abortions are concerned. That's something she'll never experience.
There are women who biologically cannot produce. There are females, people assigned female at birth, who biologically cannot produce. Are you saying that those female women should not be able to have say in those laws?
That's not what I'm saying at all. I guess my main issue with trans women being seen as women and not being seen as trans women is they're changing the definition of women and expecting everybody to go along with that. And that affects me, yes they are, and that affects me directly. You say trans women are women are trans women. It's a very different experience.
Trans women are women.
We're just gonna agree to disagree with that. If you ask feminists at a women's march what a woman is, they can't even define it. How can you protect something and empower something that you don't even know the actual definition of?
You know, that's like somebody, that's like you having affirmative action and a white guy saying, I identify as black, and he go get into an Ivy League, he get into an Ivy League school on an affirmative action thing. It's the same thing. I don't want to hear nobody say it's any different. It's the same thing. Women have gone through so much in this country, in my opinion, they have to fight for, have to prove themselves in many cases. And they've been able to get to a pretty significant place in America. And a dude can just say, I'm a girl, and they get all of the rights that women fought for. All of them. You get treated like a woman, you get everything. That's just crazy to me, man. And I'm not really trying to pit people against each other. I'm just trying to give the logic, just like reparations. I'm just putting it out here. Think about reparations. Just say, because black people should have gotten some form of reparations, which I would argue that black people got a lot of reparations after slavery. Affirmative action is reparations. All other stuff that they do for black people in this country is reparations. They got black-owned business benefits. I'm going to take advantage of it. I'm just keeping it 100. They got benefits from being a black-owned business. That's reparations, if you ask me. It's just not in the form of money. It's in the form of privilege and opportunity. But regardless of that, let's just say that because of slavery, black people got $1 million apiece after slavery. And just say a white person said, you know what, I identify as black. And I get some cornrows in my hair. That's all you have to do to be black? Cornrows? You know how disrespectful people would find that to be? But you can do that with being a woman. You can just put a dress on, put a wig on, 5 o'clock shadow, and you somehow a woman, and you can fight for women's suffrage. And you got a woman-owned business, and you go to a women's prison. It's like, boy, and you winning awards as a woman, and you dogging these women out. Tucking your thing under, dogging the women out. Come on, man. Y'all can't be serious.